What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober! You're a goofy goober!
Imagine it's the year 2004. Oh, sorry, 1 second. There we go. Imagine it's the year 2004, and you've just beaten Battle for Bikini Bottom for the 4th time now, 100%, because you loved that game as a kid. And you're getting ready to go see the brand new SpongeBob SquarePants movie. You go see it. It's fantastic. You love it, obviously. But you get a surprise on your way home. Your parents pick you up a game. A beautiful game. A SpongeBob movie game. HeavyIron Studios coming in once again with another smashing SpongeBob game. Will it take, everything that they learned from making the Battle for Bikini Bottom game and make a better, more exciting spiritual successor to that game? Or will the SpongeBob movie game flop? I mean, the movie did fantastic, why wouldn't the game? So, let's take a look at it and see what we have in store for us.
Today you'll be joining me on an adventure through the PS2 version of the SpongeBob movie game that was released almost a month before the movie was actually officially released in theaters, which I find kind of amusing that you could buy this game and then have the movie spoiled for you before it was even released. The game starts off just like the movie, having you coming to the rescue of a poor Krusty Krab patron who found his patty with no cheese. How horrible. How devastating. One of the first things I noticed that actually made me think my game was broke was these cutscenes. Most of the cutscenes in the game are actually just still shots from the movie, and I'm not even 100% sure that they're from the movie, because they look off sometimes. Specifically, this one with David Hasselhoff in it. That doesn't look like David Hasselhoff. You okay there, buddy? Doing alright? Yeah. Anyways, some obvious changes were made to the design of this game that can be seen right off the bat. We now have these new collectibles around the map that you can get from breaking boxes or defeating enemies, making exploring and defeating enemies a more rewarding experience than it was in Battle for Bikini Bottom. The weight collectibles you collect allow you to slowly level up so you can buy new upgrades for your life and abilities as you unlock them through the game. We also have Goofy Goober tokens instead of golden spatulas, and there's also Dutchman treasure scattered around that unlocks cool concept art and bonus content. The controls also aren't as spot on as Battle for Bikini Bottom. I'm not sure exactly why, but something just feels off about the platforming. It's also a bit of a bummer we can't play as Sandy anymore, but it wouldn't really make sense to have her in the game considering how the movie plays out. After making our way through the first level, we're treated with a view of naked Patrick flying through the air, and then we move on to our next level, Goofy Goobers. The first thing I really noticed playing these levels is that they're all very linear in nature compared to Battle for Bikini Bottom. There aren't any real branching paths, and the game has a large focus on these challenges. We have the Super Monkey Ball ripoff again, which thankfully controls so much better than it did in Battle for Bikini Bottom. There's also battle arenas and platforming challenges that really resemble Super Mario Sunshine at times. There's also these guitar flying challenges that became a really pain in the butt later into the game. Beating these challenges you find will net you Goofy Goober tokens that you'll need later into the game to unlock new abilities, allowing you to progress through each level. One cool addition is driving levels, which you get to drive the paddy wagon around a course, collecting items, and finally reaching the finish line. That's at least until these levels get boring and they show up way too many times in the game and get really repetitive. After passing our first driving level, we need to stop here.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually having trouble writing the script for this video. Usually, I don't have trouble with this at all, I play the game, I jot down some notes, I make some jokes, I talk about the game in order of level A to level Z, and then, I make some funnies in between, but this game just feels weirdly empty, and I don't know how to connect things, and I'm having trouble, so let's talk about just my feelings overall about this game, and skip over all the usual mumbo-jumbo that I do in these reviews.
So in general, it feels like this game falls flat not due to its own design or its gameplay, but the fact it was tied to the movie, leaving it with only so much content to work with, which really hindered the game. First off, this game isn't bad. The platforming levels that were designed are actually really cool and well put together. And the best levels are actually areas we don't really explore that much in the movie, like the bottom of the trench and the junkyard area where we first meet the Cyclops. They all have interesting enemies, cool level designs, and awesome background scenery. So you may be asking, what exactly is wrong with this level? And it's these driving and sliding levels. There are 7 of them in total. And to put that into perspective, there are only 18 levels in this game in total. 7 of them being the driving and sliding levels I just mentioned, 4 of them being boss fights, and 7 of them being platforming levels, meaning half of the game are these driving and sliding levels. And the worst part of it all is that all of this game is locked behind the Goofy Goober tokens. So at multiple parts through the game, you must have the right amount of Goofy Goober tokens to unlock a new ability, which will allow you to move forward and play new levels. Which in itself isn't bad, like this is a thing all collectible games do. But the real awful part about this is that a huge amount of the tokens you'll need to get are locked in these 7 sliding and driving levels. Each of these levels have 4 tokens to get. 1 for beating it, 1 for beating a time challenge, 1 for driving through rings, and 1 for beating an even harder time challenge. That's 7 times 4, so 28 tokens in general locked behind replaying each of these levels 4 times. And to top it off, a bunch of the tokens in the platforming levels are just from the challenges mentioned earlier. And a lot of those challenges are just reskins of harder versions of the challenges you would have already played. It gets so boring and frustrating because you know there's a good game hidden behind all of this repetitive garbage, and it's also obvious where they got all of their inspiration from for this game. Like, just listen to this sound effect. And I mean, doesn't walking around breaking boxes for collectibles seem a little, inspiration heavy as well? I have a feeling that this game was rushed by the publisher, and maybe Nickelodeon as well, to have it set and ready to be released alongside the movie when it came out in theaters. It would make sense seeing the drop in quality from Battle for Bikini Bottom to this game. Overall, it's fun, the platforming segments are great, the graphics are better, and the driving and sliding levels are fun and interesting the first few times you play them. But this game is for sure not worth beating 100%. I barely felt inclined to beat this game just the regular story way. Oh, and if you are interested in what getting 100% in this game gets you, you may actually be surprised. As you collect the Dutchman treasure, you unlock concept art, videos, and the ability to play cutscenes from the game, which is pretty boring, but the cool part is you get different costumes for Patrick and SpongeBob as well, and even some customizations for enemies and different items in the game, which I actually enjoyed. Seeing SpongeBob in a Mermaid Man suit, Patrick naked, or just playing as a sponge, like a literal real sponge, was pretty funny. For the actual 100% ending, you get a cutscene with SpongeBob doing all his manager things, kind of like in the end credits of the movie, which is cute, but not exactly worth the effort.
I really have to say, this game was all nostalgia for me. Like, I was expecting a lot more. I remember loving this game as a kid, and I was expecting to go in and have another fantastic time, but it just wasn't there. It's upsetting, but that's just how it is. Hopefully, Creature from the Krusty Krab gives me some better vibes, and I'm looking forward to playing that game for the first time as we finish off this retrospective in the next video. But until then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it, if you're feeling generous. I also try to be as active in the comments as I can, replying to you guys, liking and pinning stuff if it's funny. So go ahead, post down there, and let me know what you'd like to see me cover next as a retrospective or fan games or cut content. Let me know what you want to see, because I want to make what you want to see. There's a lot of you, and you all have different opinions, but I'll figure it out. Anyways, bye-bye! This is just a little extra boost at the end for any of you who are still watching and interested. I'll be posting a separate video on this as well, and I'm just going to make this real quick here. I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch a lot more. I'm going to be doing a Final Fantasy charity live stream. I'm going to be live streaming every single mainline Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7 remake, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 13-2, also 10-2, I forgot about that, Lightning Returns, and 15. I'm going to be live streaming every single one of those games, and every single one of those games is going to have a different charity tied to it. Any subscriptions, any bits, any donations that come in through the streams while I'm playing those games will go to that game's specific charity. I've tweeted out, and I'll post in the other video, and maybe I'll tag it in the comments below, a picture I've made showing which game ties to which charity. If you guys are interested, if you like Final Fantasy, or if you just want to see me stream, come check it out on twitch.tv/badmanreviews. You don't have to be, you don't need an account or whatever to watch. I'm pretty sure you could just hop in and be a guest and just chill out. Any kind of support, retweets, all that kind of stuff helps. I just thought it'd be a cool idea. I haven't played Final Fantasy, and I really want to, I want to explore a lot of them. There's some of them I have played, don't get me wrong. I played some Final Fantasies, I've beaten some of them, but there's a lot of them I haven't, and I want to play them all. And I want to do something good while I'm doing it. So hopefully we can help some awesome charities while we're doing this. But until then, thank you all so much for love and support. It's so great to be back, and I've missed you guys so much. Alrighty. Bye-bye. For reals this time.